Louisiana beer reviews. This is an overnight beer review. This is the early morning hours of November 25th, 2022. And I have Goose Island Bourbon County Stout 2022 edition. Chicago made Imperial Stout. And I noticed the cap has a little dent in it. Strange. $11.99 and got a dent in it. Well, you never know. Maybe they were drinking some of this while they were shipping it. Develops in the bottle up to 5 years. Notes of vanilla, toffee, chocolate, burnt sugar, and dried fruit. Now their website is down. I noticed recently Tap Into Your Beer had a security warning, then it started working again. I tried to connect to Goose Island twice. It was saying something's wrong with their website. I noticed Facebook's been getting hacked to death with spam posts in different groups. Like, I don't know how many times I heard that Bruce Willis died. Okay. Goose Island, enjoying a snifter, 14.3% alcohol, 14.3. Drink by 2027. Don't think that's going to be a problem. August 9th. So I guess this was bottled August 9th, 2022. It says contains wheat. They don't really talk about that on their website, that it contains wheat, but it does, because every bottle always says it contains wheat. And they got to put that on there because some people have that wheat allergen. Just like when you use yellow number 5 food coloring. You have to specifically list that because some people are allergic to it. Or same with peanuts. Okay, nice hiss. Like I said, $11.99. It actually dropped $1 from last year. Apparently that it wasn't really moving that well last year, the 2021 edition. I still see the not Coca-Cola, sorry. The Cola edition hanging around, and I hope it hangs around forever, because I wouldn't pay $20.99 for that, for something that tastes like a soda, cold drink, soft drink. No thanks. I don't even like drinking those if somebody gives me one. But that's a personal preference issue. I'm sure it's well made. Well, we're not getting any kind of head of foam, except a thin, well, we're getting a kind of head of foam, a thin tan head. At first it was nothing. Oh. It's crackling. First time I tried this was in 2014. And then every year since 2015. I think they had the same bottles in 2015, the smaller ones. Then they went to these big ones in 2016. Isn't that the year 2016 when they had the infection issue? And they asked me on the phone, would you like a t-shirt or a refund? So I think I want my, it was like Nikki, I think I want my money back, They sent me a t-shirt and the money, minus the tax. And then they corrected that problem, and I'm not going to save all the bottles, they more or less look the same, but, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So here we are. And we had that one bad issue that one year, but they owned up to it. I tried it, and I said, something's wrong with this stuff, and then my daughter tried another bottle that we had, or it might have been the rest of the bottle. She was like, oh, what is this? Tastes like coconut. Or just foul. You could tell something was not right. Four Roses, Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, and there's a fourth one that they're aging in. So they're using 4 different bourbon barrels. Kind of letting all the companies take part. It smells like, generalized bourbon barrel, kind of funky, musty aroma, mainly from the beer, but Looks great, black, little brown coming in on the edges. Smell, I don't know about the smell being great. I mean, it's strong. Dark, strong, full brown bread crust, dark bread crust. I mean, I'll give this thing 100 sometimes, 98 to 100 usually. I'm not really into bourbon barrel beers particularly, whether it's the barrel in the beer like they do at Innocent Gun and Anheuser-Busch did, or if it's this truly aged for a year in bourbon barrels. Bourbon is fine. There's a bottle of Heaven Hill, old style bourbon. I bought that in Arkansas, and haven't tried it. And beer is good. I drink it, every day. But together, I'm not like totally thrilled with it. But that's what it is. So whether I like a style or not, it was really irrelevant. The question is it a high quality product? And this usually is, invariably. Some of the flavors I tried from them, like the one that tastes like apple. I mean, it was fine. It was well made, but I was thinking like, I don't know about this because it's, stout with natural flavors. I said it's not that much better than like Mike's Harder green apple, honestly. I mean, that uses natural flavors too. Now, Four Loko, yeah, that's getting a little crazy because they're using artificial flavors. That one's, but that's just the way I saw it. That the apple one, apple crisp, whatever it was nice. I didn't mind it, but I didn't find that it was appreciably better than like a very simple, inexpensive, like Mike's Harder green apple. Okay. And that's, the way I felt about it. 14.3, and that's a bit strong. Ooh. Getting a dark cherry. I'm getting hints of chocolate, vanilla. And I'm always getting confused with the Founders KBS, and I'm thinking that this one has chocolate and vanilla added in coffee, but it doesn't. It just, the dark malts mimic that. And then I guess the bourbon barrels bring that, you're thinking that it's flavored. The bourbon barrels add flavor. Now, is it a good idea to use various companies' barrels all together? It's probably okay, because, think about it. Are you really going to be able to say in a blind test, oh yeah, I know this is Four Roses. Oh yes. I know that's Heaven Hill. That's the green label Heaven Hill. I know. Oh yeah, you really know that from a faint bourbon barrel pickup? So yeah, it probably just, you'd have to do the experiment, do some with specific bourbon barrels and then ones with just a mix with no pattern to it. I think in reality you just wouldn't be able to tell them apart. I just don't think it would matter. Assuming they're all like first time used bourbon barrels, right? Not like, well, this was the 5th time they used it for something post bourbon, and that was the 2nd time. But that, yeah, you start bringing in all these variables, can become very convoluted. I'm gonna feel convoluted after I drink this. Dark roasted malts. I don't really like drinking these kind of things too much because after I drink it, I feel like I took medicine, and I don't like taking medicine. Although I was sick and I'm getting over this more or less, but I should have probably taken medicine, but I didn't. So vitamin C, that's not medicine. Okay, the body's not as heavy as you might think it would be. As heavy as I thought it would be. I mean, it's high medium, but it's not thick and chewy. There's a viscosity to it, though, in a way. Yeah, it looks like used motor oil. That's what it looks like. The finish is remarkably dry. Mostly dry. Let's say 75 to 25 ratio. Dry to sweet. It's probably lower than that. It's probably not up to 25% sweet. I think it's more like 80-20. 80% dry, 20% sweet. Now, on the scale, well, I think it's probably 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. I mean, this is the ultimate dessert beer, or in this case, overnight beer. You know, it's just so sweet, which may turn people off. I don't think it's going to turn too many people off. If you look at the review sites, Beer Advocate, Rate Beer, and Untappd, it's getting nearly 100. I mean, on Untappd might be in the high 80s, but that's kind of like 100 for them. They got a different approach. But bitterness now. Let's look at bitterness for 2022. No, there's not really much bitterness. I know it contains hops. That's legally required. Bourbon County Stout. Let's see if there's a legal description here. There has to be. Stout aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah, that's the legal disclosure. Every alcoholic beverage has to have a legal disclosure. Not descriptions. I mean, they can have all those. Tasting notes, aroma notes, and so forth. But it has to have a legal disclosure of what it actually is. And you can read those requirements on the Tax and Trade Bureau website. Very detailed website. Better have some time on your hands. I complain about bourbon barrel, but I would like to see more of it, just for an interesting experiment. Like, it would be strange, but like regular beers, like I'm looking at Budweiser, aged in bourbon barrels, 5%. I mean, it'd be peculiar. Then aged in rum barrels, aged in Scotch barrels, aged in single malt Scotch barrels, aged in tequila barrels. I mean, maybe it'll be nasty. I don't know. Well, why not experiment? People will probably buy it and try it. And then you could just do a limited time thing. Don't bring it back. Guess it's not going to happen, though. We're not going to see Miller High Life aged in brandy barrels. You get the bourbon, you get a little wood, get more of that bourbon kind of corn sweetness. Corn, I call it candy corn. Bourbon oftentimes tastes like candy corn to me. So if you're not into bitter beers, this might work. It's not bitter. Like, let's say 1.5 out of 5, 1.5 out of 5 hop cones. Strong, yes. The initial taste, remember, I was like, woof. But it dissipates, but it could be dangerous because you'd be gulping it and then, Absolutely never drink 2 of these. 1,000 milliliters of this, a liter, you'd be out of your mind. I mean, unless you drank 2 over a 24-hour period, and that'd be your only drinks the whole day. Yeah, that might work. If you want to pay over $24 after tax for 2 beers, you know. All right, one more sip, then we're going to score it. Meaning, I'm going to score it. It's got all the right things going. I don't have to. There's raisin too. You always get prunes and raisin. And even dates. It doesn't contain those, but I always pick those things up. Isn't that something? The wheat, that might soften the body. I can't really pick up wheat. But, yeah. I'm going to go with 100 out of 100 this year. I think it's a perfect beer this year. It usually is. Just usually is. So an A+, outstanding beer, 100 out of 100. And I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Chicago, Illinois and tour the Goose Island Brewery. And they've been around since 1988.